right. It is me again. Another week of NXT. Another week of Adam Cole not explaining himself. Why'd you do it, you disgusting human being? And more to come. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your NXT Recap and Review. First up in the night, we do have a match between Dexter Loomis and the North American champion Johnny Gargano. We do see The Way come to the ring with Gargano after recovering Austin Theory after being kidnapped by Dexter Loomis last week. We do see Austin Theory's a bit out of it. He messes up the high five and everything like that. You gotta get the high five, man. Come on now. But we do see the beginning of this match. Loomis is pretty much just being weird, using that weirdness to his advantage a lot at the onset, hits a good number of right hands to gain control. We do see The Way get involved a little bit as well, but they didn't really do anything. Theory just kind of gazed at him. Indy Hartwell gazed lovingly at him, just a different type of gaze. And even Candice interfering didn't really do much. But we do see Gargano hit that sliding drop kick and a suicide dive to take control going into the commercial break. Coming back from break, we do see the two just trading submission attempts for the most part, and then Loomis gets reinvigorated and gets back in it with the spine buster, only for a 2 count. And after a bit of back and forth in the latter part of this match, we do see the end come. Gargano feigns a knee injury to get Theory to grab the chair and go use it on Loomis. Go use it on the man who kidnapped you. And Theory couldn't do it. He literally just stood there and did not do a thing. Candice is like, "What are you doing, bro?" Eventually, Gargano attacks, but he accidentally hits Theory, knocks him off the apron, gets caught in the silence, and he passes out. He had wide eyes like this, and then they were like this, like he was out. And that's a win over the North American champion for Dexter Loomis. Fair match, I guess, to say the least. Loomis still kind of bores me in his character. I don't really get, but this was fine action, I guess. I don't really see where the thing with Theory and Indy is kind of going. It's like they're being swayed or kind of being led towards Dexter Loomis in a way, and I don't really understand why, because he's a kidnapper. It makes no sense, but I guess we'll get more explanation about that throughout the rest of the week. They are going to therapy and stuff like that, so we'll see about that. But just fine action from these two and a good win for Dexter Loomis. Next up, we do have a video package detailing MSK and their just rise throughout the tag team division and winning the Dusty Rhodes Classic. But this was really nice stuff. We even see just a lot of touching moments. Nash carding his relationship with his dad and just their come up as best friends throughout the industry. Really touching, really emotional. And then they just completely ruined all that. Yeah, as they were about to do an interview, we see the Grizzled young veterans attack them because they're still big mad about the Dusty Rhodes Classic as well. And we eventually hear later on that they broke Wesley's hand, so assuming he'll be out for a little bit, all thanks to the GYV. Just ruined a good emotional moment. Thanks. Next up, we were supposed to have a match between Tyler Rust and Leon Ruff. We even see Bivens come to the ring and say, "Hey, Leon Ruff, he reminds me of the son I never wanted." I was like, ouch, dang. But the match never happened. And we see as Ruff is coming to the ring and he's posing on the apron, Isaiah Swerve Scott comes out of nowhere and clocks him, literally kicks him in the face, drags him over to the announcer table, just talking about he wants the opportunities. It's his time now, and he just throws him into the apron. Nice little AA style, just into the apron. Really looked aggressive, but I really liked it a lot. He just walked off, and we see Rust in the ring just raise his hand like he won something, but he didn't do nothing. He just kind of stood there while Bivens talked and Isaiah Swerve Scott did some action. But I'm sort of feeling this Isaiah Swerve Scott heel turn now. I'm kind of growing into it, especially against someone like Leon Ruff, who's so impressionable and likable. We like to see it. So everything here was pretty good. It didn't really advance a lot of anything, but definitely good to see some heel character kind of showing off from Scott here. We do get a couple of segments in the course of the show where Cameron Grimes is mimicking the $1 Million Man and a basketball bit that he did back in the day where the person has to dribble the basketball 10, 15 times, whatever, and then he eventually just kicks the ball out from under them, apparently. He didn't get that the first time, and he definitely failed the second time against a former WNBA player. And then we see the third time he tries to do it for this one dude. He dribbles once, and then he just clocks him in the face, and he's like, nobody gets the better of Cameron Grimes, and he was really mad at Ted DiBiase through a lot of this, and I don't understand why. But I'm definitely feeling he makes it just entertaining. I don't know where the character is kind of going at this moment, but I am enjoying the ride nonetheless. So love me some Cameron Grimes. So everything he does is entertaining, so it was pretty good for me. Next up, we do have a match between Zoe Stark, recently debuted, just had her first match last week against NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai. Hard lockup and grappling just to start off, a little bit sloppy as well, I will say, but didn't take away from it too much. We see Shirai eventually gain control with the drop kick and kind of stays in control during the duration of the first half of this match until she eventually goes up on top and just gets kicked off with a high kick from Stark, sends her crashing to the outside as we go into the commercial break. Coming back from break, we do see Stark in control. She's using that athleticism to her advantage. Eventually goes up for a 450 from the top rope, almost hits it, but Shirai moves out the way. And they both eventually hit each other with cross bodies to kind of take each other out. It's at this point that we do see Io kind of come back with a flurry, and she eventually just ends this match. We do see she eventually reverses Stark's head straight into the middle turnbuckle, hits a meteor, and then goes up top for that moonsault and hits it for the 1, 2, 3, and the win for the NXT Women's Champion. We do see as they're kind of congratulating each other in the ring afterwards, Toni Storm comes out and she's like, "Hey, Io, stop running from me, baby. Like, I'm here. There's a reason you didn't pin me at Vengeance Day, because you can't beat me." And of course, Io disagrees. She's like, "Anytime, anywhere, sis, I am here. I'll run this." And Storm's like, "Nah, I want to keep hearing that. Go get Regal. Go set up the match. Let's do it." And so we eventually do hear later on that the match is made for 2 weeks, that they'll fight for the NXT Women's Championship. So we'll just be waiting on that. But all solid action all around. Zoe Stark hasn't really given me a reason to care about her yet, but she's been impressive in the ring, and that's something I can definitely appreciate, of course. And she's been awesome in the ring so far. Io Shirai is always awesome in the ring, and Toni just not forgetting about Io, really claiming that title, like really wanting that title and laying stake towards it. So hopefully in 2 weeks it's just as awesome as it needs to be between those two women. But definitely a solid match here. Definitely Zoe Stark is continuing to build her rise here, and we're continuing to look forward to it, of course. Next up, we do have a match between Xia Li and Casey Catanzaro. We do see Xia Li attack once the bell rings just to kind of gain control with that physicality, of course. But we do see Catanzaro pretty much fighting back. She uses that athleticism and some awful looking punches to kind of gain control. Yeah, please don't let her punch no more. Let her throw a forearm or something, please. But we do see near the end of this match, as they're fighting on the outside, Catanzaro is laid out. Xia Li just stomps on her leg, and commentary sells it like death. Like this is the worst thing that they have ever seen for the most part. Like it's actually broken her leg or something. Leah eventually just grabs Catanzaro by the hair and just drags her, carries her with one arm to the ring. And once they're in the ring, referee's like, "Nah, man, this is done. She's hurt. She can't continue, man." They throw the match out. We see the refs and everything like that come down to help Catanzaro out a little bit. Kaden gets in the ring just to prevent anything else from happening. She eventually leaves the ring again, goes to confront Mei Ying on the ramp, and that allows Xia Li to kind of go ahead and attack Catanzaro one more time, hits her with that spinning kick before they get out of dodge, and Tian Sha stands tall to kind of close the segment. She says Kaden Carter is next, so she's next, of course. But yeah, this is solid stuff. It's definitely what it needed to be. Definitely controls and just makes Xia Li that credible threat, even if she didn't break her leg, because that's not what it looked like at all. It definitely just puts her in that threat category. She's going after Kaden Carter next, so we'll see how that kind of comes in the next couple of weeks. But definitely what it needed to do is just establishing Xia Li a little bit further. So yeah, can't hate on it at all, and it's exactly as short as it needed to be as well. Next up, we do have a tag team match between Drake Maverick and Killian Dane against the Grizzled Young Veterans. We do see Gibson and Drake, of course, at the beginning of the match just talking. Gibson refers to Dane and Maverick as Shrek and Donkey, and that got a laugh out of me, unfortunately. That joke made me laugh. But we do see Dane just come out the gate hot, hits a drop kick to kind of gain control for his team, and they pretty much stay there throughout the duration of the first half. And we see Dane just preventing a lot of tag team moves from the GYV, just sends them out the ring at one point and just throws Drake over to kind of take the GYV out as we go into the commercial break. Coming back from break, and we do see GYV in control, just working over Drake Maverick, but Maverick does get a little swifty, kind of avoids some moves and gets a tag into Killian Dane, and he comes in like a bulldozer, people, just taking out everybody, ramming guys over. We see him eventually hit a double fall away slam on both competitors of GYV, which is awesome, just to gain back control. We do even see Drake get back into the match, just using the speed to his advantage, just taking out the legs of both guys in GYV as well. We do see the end of this match come as Drake is still legal in the ring. Dane is sent to the outside, hit with a suicide dive to kind of take him out, and as Drake is going up to the top rope, he's pulled down by Zach Gibson. Ticket to Mayhem by the GYV, a 1-2-3, a victory for the Grizzled Young Veterans. This was solid action, definitely as GYV are just trying to recover from losing the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Again, this is definitely a good win just to set them on the right course, even after attacking MSK earlier in the show as well. I don't know what they're doing with Dane and Maverick. As an oddball team, there's only so many lanes you can kind of go to. We do see kind of tease a little bit later, Imperium just kind of approaching Killian Dane like, come on, man, you used to be a monster. Come on, man. So maybe they're leaning in that direction. Maybe Killian Dane turns heel again. I don't know. But we're just looking forward to see what these two teams kind of go after doing in the future. But solid stuff here. Good stuff. Next up, we finally have the match between Santos Escobar and Karrion Kross, a no disqualification match. We do see this match start off in the parking lot, and we see Kross attack as Escobar is just chilling in the car. He takes out both members of Legado del Fantasma to kind of kick things off. Escobar is the one mainly using his advantage a lot at the time that they're outside, just utilizing that truck, slamming the trunk of the truck, and just slamming Kross into the truck multiple times. This allows Legado to come back as well, and they begin triple teaming Kross for the most part, just slamming him into the truck multiple times as well. They eventually do end up back inside the Capitol Wrestling Center, and as Escobar is going to the ring, Kross just kind of takes back advantage. He's fighting off the other members of Legado and just sends them, tosses them, throws them, decimates them against the barricade, and the barricade just falls over and everything like that. But as we go into the commercial break, we do see Escobar kind of get control using the chair to his advantage to go after that injured shoulder of Karrion Kross. Coming back in, even throughout the duration of picture-in-picture as well, Escobar was just in control, continuing to attack that shoulder, lending on the services of the other members of Legado as well, even eventually hitting a DDT on the chair on the outside, only for a 2 count as he got Kross back into the ring. But Kross did not stay down for long. No. He eventually got control. Eventually, he ended up with the steel chair as well, just going to work on all 3 guys. Eventually took out Legado on the outside, just with some moves against the barricade to kind of take them out, and now he's got Escobar all alone, ladies and gentlemen. Hits a Saito suplex, gets him over to the table, hits another one for good measure, gets back in the ring, hits another one for good measure, hit one through the table in the ring. Everything is just Saitos everywhere, and eventually hits that forearm to the back of the head as time was up. 1, 2, 3, and that is a win in this no disqualification match for Karrion Kross. This was pretty fun stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I did kind of get a little bit tired of Escobar having control for a lot just at the beginning of this match and through the commercial break and through the latter part of this match as well. But this is kind of the first time we've seen Kross in any danger or anything like that, or at least look the least bit vulnerable. So it was kind of good to see how the match kind of structured around that for the most part, especially since he was playing the Suedo face in this one for the most part. But yeah, good stuff. Definitely competitive, just violent action that we saw, especially from Escobar. He definitely had a lot of fun with this. Proved he's not just a cruiserweight for the most part. But yeah, just solid action from these guys. Don't know where they really even go from here, but Escobar is still the champion, thank God, and we'll see where Kross kind of places his victimization next, of course. But yeah, just good stuff here. Solid action all around. And last up in our main event segment, we do have Adam Cole just coming out to finally, hopefully, explain his actions of the past couple of weeks, just attacking Kyle O'Reilly, his brother, eventually just planting him with a brain buster on the steel steps at last week's show. And they play that footage in the Capitol Wrestling Center. And apparently Adam Cole is remorseful. He is saddened. He is ashamed of his actions against Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. And so he just came to apologize, and he wants to make things right, you know? Okay. That eventually brings out Roderick Strong, and Roddy is not buying it at all. He's like, bro, you broke up the Undisputed Era. Like, you shattered the trust of the group. We was meant to be brothers and to trust each other. What are you doing, bro? Kyle O'Reilly's gonna come for you when he heals, bro. I hope you remember that. That's basically what he's telling them. This brings out Finn Balor, who was subject to attacks from Adam Cole as well, and he just wants to get some. He's eventually taken out by both guys in Undisputed Era, both Roddy and Cole, just on the outside. Eventually Cole ends up back in the ring, and he tries to help Roddy and console Roddy, and Roddy just decks him with a clothesline, and Cole is just like, man, this is all my fault. Man, I did this. This is all my fault. And starts crying in the ring and stuff like that, and Roddy, he falls for it pretty much. It's like, hey, man, this is not your fault. This is my fault. I shouldn't have hit you, man. They hug and all like that. Cool moment. Yay. And then Cole hits him with the lowest of blows. Just hits him in that little area, and then hits him with a super kick. Even takes off the dog tags representing the Undisputed Era as well, and just stands tall to end the show off. This was solid stuff from everybody involved. Of course, Finn Balor would want to come get him some after being super kicked in the face a couple times by Adam Cole over the past couple of weeks, but we didn't really get any explanation, which I'm still waiting on. Like, why'd you do it? I know you want the title, but why did you do it? And of course, we see Roderick Strong's tension kind of leaning a little bit here, and eventually he just pushed over the edge as well as Cole attacks him. So now the Undisputed Era is completely broken up. So we'll see how that kind of progresses in the next couple of weeks, especially when Bobby Fish come back. He gonna come back to like everything decimated. He's like, whoa, what happened? I was gone for like a couple months. Y'all decided to get frisky and just destroy everything. Okay. But yeah, just solid stuff. I await Adam Cole's explanation, but this is just solid stuff all around. Good stuff from all three men involved, of course. And that's going to do it for another episode of NXT. Great way to close out the show with the main event segment. Adam Cole standing tall, not giving his explanation as of yet, but over my dead body, he will give it one day. And just some solid matches sprinkled throughout the show. The no disqualification match really surprised me just from how they two were able to structure it. Even the GYV versus Killian Dane and Drake Maverick match was also really good as well. So just solid matches sprinkled throughout the show. Another solid episode of NXT. Just continuing on through the next couple weeks. Next week, we get those 2 tag team championship matches, so cannot wait for that. Bring the women's titles home, baby. Come on, Dakota and Raquel. Please bring them back to NXT. But that's going to do it from me. You'll see more videos throughout the week, but I am out. Peace, y'all. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your life. Please enjoy. Have joy. Come on now. I'll see y'all soon.